story time. We're gonna read, Then I Got 3 Scoops. 3 scoops of ice cream. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberries. Yum, yum, yum,
My
yum, yum.
favorite one, my 2 favorite ones are strawberry, but my favorite one is chocolate. Chocolate.
Okay.
Yum, 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 yum.
Then I got 3 scoops. It was a beautiful summer day when the number 18 bus came. Made its afternoon stop. Right in front of the local grocery store, there was a great deal of shuffling as some people got off the bus. A few more got on. As the bus pulled away, David and his grandfather headed straight for the store. They had come to the grocery for a number of items. David was always ready and looking forward to ride the bus home, so when he was playing ball with his friends. When he arrived at the store, David stepped on the floor mat that said, "Welcome!" The huge glass doors swung open all by themselves. Grandpa grabbed a grocery basket and the two wandered through the aisles to find a few things that were on the shopping list. Here we go. See? There's the bus. And he went to the grocery, and he always loved going to the grocery with his grandfather, with his Zadie. I wonder what it has to do with ice cream. Just as they were about to walk up to the checkout line, a lady came running up, wheeling her cart, overflowing with groceries, right in front of David and his grandfather. She cut the line. Look at her, she just ran in front of them. Is that nice?
No.
Not so nice. But maybe she has a reason. It's not very nice to do, but sometimes things happen. Let's see, let's read on. "First come, first served," the lady said rudely in a nasal voice. "Besides, I'm in a hurry. I have a bus I need to catch." And then she picked up a magazine and began to flip through the pages. That is rude. Now that we read the second part, that is rude. Rude means not so nice. Let's see what happens next. David started to get angry. His face turned red. "Grandpa, look what the lady just did. That's not fair. We were here first. She broke the line." David tugged on his Zadie's sleeve. "Look at all the groceries. We're going to be here forever. How can you just stand there so calmly as nothing had happened?" Grandpa laughed and gently said with a twinkle in his eye, "It's a funny thing, David, but I've learned a long time ago that things always seem to work out for the best." "What do you mean, Zadie?" "She broke in the line. We should have been first, and now we're going to have to wait. Maybe we missed our bus, and I want to get home so I can play ball with my friends." And that was so good. What's so good about that?" David protested. "David," Grandpa began to explain, "I know it's hard to tell sometimes, especially when you're right up close to things. But trust me when I tell you that it's just not worth it getting angry and wasting energy on life's little problems, or when things don't go exactly as we had planned." "What are you talking about, Zadie? We should have been first." David was still quite upset. Zadie thought for a moment, and he put his arms around his grandson David. "Do you remember how angry you used to get every morning when your mother made you brush your teeth?" "Yes, I remember," David said as he shrugged his shoulders. I think that his Zadie is teaching him a life lesson. You see over here his mommy saying, "Brush your teeth," and he's like, "No, I don't want to brush my teeth." And then when you get older, what happens? You realize that
You have yellow teeth.
you also realize that mommy was doing it because she loved you and it was the right thing to do. Yeah, so there's always the big picture. But when they were in the park one day and you saw an old man who didn't have any teeth, ever since then you've been brushing your teeth really hard because you didn't want to grow old and lose all your teeth. Now you realize what his mommy was saying, even though he was upset, was the right thing, because look at this man. He has no teeth. And quickly David started brushing his teeth because he didn't want to be like that man without teeth. Very not handsome. "Yeah, but that's not the same thing, Zadie." "She broke into the line," David said. He he didn't even understand. He still didn't understand. Let's think about it, David. Zadie continued gently. There are so many times when we get angry over little things that are really nothing. Why, I can remember when I was a young man at school and I got very upset because the teacher wouldn't call on me. But after the teacher called on another student, you know what I realized? Zadie sang a story of when he was young and the Mora didn't call on him when he raised his hand, and that made him upset. And let's see what happened. I didn't know the right answer anyway. Really, David giggled. That happened to me one time too, Zadie. He realized that if the teacher would have called on him, he would have gotten the wrong answer anyway and been a little bit embarrassed. Although we could get the wrong answer, it doesn't have to be embarrassed. But he was happy that he wasn't called on afterwards because he realized his answer would have not been right anyway. I can remember when I was a little sprout like you, David, Zadie continued. My mother used to make me practice the piano after dinner. And boy, would I get angry. But when I learned how to play, his mom used to say, go practice your piano. And that made him upset. But then, let's see what happens. But then, yeah, you played piano really well, Zadie. David loves to listen to his Zadie play, especially when he lets him sing along. And then he realized when he got older that he played the piano so beautifully and it was worth it, all his practicing, right? Yeah. Look, because his grandson loves when he plays, and he plays so beautifully. And how about you, David? I remember there were times when you would get upset when it was time to take a bath. Mommy would say, it's time to take a bath, and David would get very upset. But I think we don't even have to turn to the next page to know why it's important to take a shower.
Yeah.
Ew, or else we smell. But when we were little, sometimes we don't want to. But when I began to play with the toys and boats you gave me, David chimed in, taking a bath turned out to be a lot of fun. Right? And he realized bath time is fun. And it also makes you smell good so people can hug and kiss you. And yesterday, David, you got angry when your mother called you away from your big game to come inside and eat dinner. His mommy said, David, it's time to eat dinner. And look at David. David looks very upset. But that worked out okay, too, Zadie, because as soon as I got in the door, it started to thunder and rain, and everyone else got wet except for me. Ooh, that really turned out much better than he would have thought. Zadie started to smile. I can remember when I was your age and a teacher used to make us walk down the hallway in a straight line. Well, that was just enough to make me hot under the collar. Look at Zadie when he was little. Hot on the collar means that he was upset. Look, that's the teacher telling them all to stand in line, and here's Zadie, and he looks really upset as a little boy that the Rebbe's making them stand in a line. But when the oldest kids came down the hall, and I was glad I was not in their way, because they probably would have ran him over. So he was happy to be in a nice straight line, and Zadie was making sure that the big boys were standing on a line on the other side. That's funny, Zadie, David laughed. I wouldn't like to walk in a straight line either, but I guess it was for your own good. Right, that's right, David, and just not worth getting upset over. Zadie was happy to see that David was beginning to catch on. David thought for a moment. Do you mean like the time I got angry when Mom forgot to pack cookies in my lunch? He opened his lunch and he realized that there were no cookies, and that made him upset. But it just happened to be that Sammy's birthday, and his mom packed him a whole chocolate cake, and he gave everyone a big slice. So it all worked out because he had dessert from the birthday party. Things just seem to work out. We have to keep calm and relaxed. On the last day of school, I was walking home. I lost my temper when I tripped over my shoelace and a dog ran away with my lollipop. Oh, that sounds. See, he tripped and fell, and then the dog came and took his lollipop. How upsetting.
Because the dog doesn't even know.
But the ice cream man came up the street and saw what had happened. He felt sorry for me and gave me 3 big scoops of ice cream for free. Oh, 1 of each of my favorite flavors. That worked out. I think I'd rather ice cream than a lollipop, huh?
Yeah.
But I don't want to be thrown over.
Oh, but I would want in the middle, I think I would want the mint chocolate chip.
Oh, instead of vanilla. And one day I was upset when I couldn't sit next to my best friend on the school bus. Somebody had already sat there.
Alex?
What's a good problem solving if somebody sits near your best friend?
I'll just sit with somebody else.
That's right, and make another friend. It doesn't have to be your best friend, but it can be a different friend, and then the next day maybe you could sit near your best friend.
Yeah, but on my bus, I have permanent seats.
Oh. But when I made a new friend, is that what you mean, Zadie? Oh, see, it's like what we just said. You make a new friend. I think you know exactly what I'm talking about, Zadie nodded and gave David a wink. Could you wink to the camera?
Try and do this one.
One eye closed. Finally, all the customers, as well as the lady who had jumped in line, were finished checking out. It was David and Zadie's turn to step up to the register. See, here's David making friends with a new person on the bus. And here, we're at the grocery, and it's their turn to check out. Just as the checkout lady began to ring up the groceries, all the bells and whistles and lights in the store started to ring and blow and flash. What was going on? David wondered. Lights and noise turned on when it was their turn. What was going on? The manager of the store came running up to greet David and Zadie. The manager was wearing a big smile. Flash bombs started to flash as the local newspaper reporters started taking pictures. What did we do? Screamed David. Something was going on. What was going on? Let's see. Do ask the manager. Why, you two are the winners of our 1 million customer contest. You are the 1 millionth customer. Congratulations, said the manager, and he shook David and Zadie's hand over and over again. Today's groceries are free, the manager continued. You've received a 1-year supply of grocery rye bread, and to make those trips back and forth to the store a little easier, you will enjoy a ride in your brand new car. Compliments of your friendly grocery store. David and Zadie were thrilled. They had certainly been a most exciting trip to the grocery store. Both realized how once again things had worked out for the best. See that?
And now it's the other
1 millionth customer. And they won a car. Oh my gosh, a red convertible. Whoa!
I would want that.
Whoa, was that worth waiting on that lady who cut in?
Yeah.
Zadie was smiling. I am glad that you are not angry anymore, David. David's face was beaming. Angry? Who, me? Over what? He had forgotten all about the lady who had cut them in the line. See? Things always work out for the best.
The 1 million customer, that means more than 1 million.
And it's important not to get upset quickly, right?
Yeah.
Things always work out. Hashem has a master plan. We don't know what the plan is, but there's always a master plan, and we always have to keep calm. Zen. Toby, could you do that with Mommy? Put your fingers together like that and go. Good job. Hope you enjoyed the book as much as I enjoyed reading it to you. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.